want to take you now to Berkeley, California, where we're seeing violent demonstrations underway at this hour. These are clashes. They're competing between political rallies, two of them in the city. Some are pro-Trump, the others are anti-Trump. And some of these have been staged really asking for President Trump to release his tax returns ahead of next week's, of course, National Tax Day. I'm joined on the phone by KCBS radio reporter Jenna Lane in Berkeley. Jenna, we're seeing these violent images. It appears to be a dumpster that's being pushed around. What can you tell us?
Rena, there's been a number of things that have unfolded over this changing situation throughout the morning. It all started when some supporters of President Trump announced plans to have several speakers address a crowd at noon. Well, a group calling itself mostly anti-fascist showed up around 10 o'clock to make sure that people would know that not everyone in Berkeley supported these speakers. Police set up some plastic barricades and no man's land between those two crowds. They shouted at each other for the better part of a couple of hours. Some eggs and bagels were tossed from one side to the other, but it was mostly peaceful except for the shouting for those first couple of hours. Then there started to be loud bangs. Somebody here is tossing what appear to be M80 fireworks. Each time one of those goes off, the crowd scatters. Some people have been injured. And what's happened now is those speeches that were scheduled for noon have continued, but with a very small crowd. The rest of the Trump supporters have filtered out to the edges of Civic Center Park to watch where the anti-fascists are rallying in the streets surrounding that square.
Jenna, I'm seeing people sort of confronting what appears to possibly be police. I can't tell from my vantage point here, but what can you tell us about how the police are responding to this?
As I mentioned, the police at the beginning were very active in enforcing that no man's land in between the two sides. Officers wearing riot gear. I saw them personally break up a couple of times when both sides were threatening to throw punches at the other. Then once the M80s started being thrown, police moved back, and I'm watching a large crowd of them in riot gear right now, standing under the shade of a tree, and they're really letting these demonstrations sort of unfold on the streets around them.
It's incredible. We're watching these images unfold live. Jenna Lane with KCBS. Thank you, Jenna. And we're going to continue to monitor the situation on the ground at Berkeley. There are protests across this country from Mar-a-Lago to Philadelphia, both pro and against Donald Trump. We're going to take a quick break and we'll have much more on the other side of this break. You're watching CBSN.